Oh, hi there. It's Friday, end of the week, and there's a lot to talk about in the Shogi world, at least the Western Amateur Shogi world. The European Shogi Championship is going on, World Open Shogi Championship. Their results, we talked about it yesterday on stream. There was the Blitz event, there was the team event. Channel favorite, Edward Panko, has been doing very well. And there's definitely stuff to talk about. If we look at pull a web browser up here, we have the European Shogi Championship is all the way now into the semifinals. So what am I trying to say? So I think their day is done. So this will happen tomorrow. I think their day is done. Let's see. What time is it in Paderborn, Germany right now? It's 7:28 p.m. in Berlin. So I think they're done for the day. And this is it. We have no surprises. Anton Starikovic, the person who won he did end up winning the Blitz event yesterday, though in Shogi Dad world, Edward won. And we can maybe get into that later. Stir up some drama. Edward had a great tournament, but then he unfortunately had to play a handicap game. And so, hey, Benjamin Schuett, good to see you. So the first semifinalist, first semifinalist is Anton Starikovic, who went through some really strong players. The second one here is I still don't know anything about this guy, this Yanni Cruz. Hey, Scooter Skits, nice to see you. I hope you're having a good week. I don't know any. I almost wonder, maybe I've just missed this name for the past few years, but I almost wonder if this is like a Z-Kid situation where this is a very strong chess player who just picked up Shogi and now all of a sudden is dominating. I wonder if that's the case. So if anyone has any more details on this, I'd love to know, because he won against Melkor. The other quarterfinalist, Melkor, had a good tournament. He didn't. Yeah, he did win against Melkor. Yeah. So he won against Melkor, which is a massive win. A massive win. Zendo-kun, hello. Hope you're having a good day. So anyway, we have Starikovic and we have Cruz on the one side, and here we have it. Edward Panko, who I interviewed in the Shogi in the West podcast, and Urashino Ryu player, he won against Telmarch, Jean Fortin, many-time European Shogi champion, great player. And Edward is playing. He's just playing. I don't want to say out of his mind this weekend or this week. It just seems like he's playing. He is on fire. He is absolutely on fire. What a tournament so far. So just to recap his tournament yesterday in the Blitz event, he was leading the event and he actually won. I don't know how he won. I don't know if it was a Nifu or if it was a time win or if it was something. I don't know much about the win, but regardless, he had a win against arguably the top seed in all these tournaments, and the person who eventually did win the Blitz tournament. So Edward had a win against him, and he was undefeated. And then he had to play a two-piece handicap against one of those not the pros, but a guest. And I don't know what happened. He lost the two-piece handicap, and I don't know if he fell apart there or what. I think he withdrew for the last round. I don't know, but maybe save the drama for when we have more people. But I'm going to say I am not a fan of that format. The winner here, he did not have to play any handicap games. He was just able to win all the games except for against Edward and get the title. Edward had to play that two-piece handicap game, And I don't know. To me, that would ruin my entire mindset. To me, but I'm a weaker player and a weaker person. I'm a weaker player. But anyway, Edward Ponko is the third semifinalist. He must be feeling so good. And then Thomas Leiter, another really strong player, is the other semifinalist. So we have, I think we have 2 Germans. I believe Thomas Leiter is a German. I mean, it sure sounds like a German name. But I believe we have 2 Germans at the bottom of each semifinal, and then we have Anton Starikovic and Edward Ponko in the other. So tomorrow's ESC semifinal is going to be a barn burn. I would love to watch this. I would love to be able to watch this. Unfortunately, there's no stream there. If we go overall to the World Open Shogi Championship, let me reload this page. It says there are 3 rounds. So they've gone through 3 rounds. And keep in mind, there is the Rising Dragons Championship, or Cup, which is the players lower than some arbitrary ELO number, some like 1460 or whatever the FISA ELO is. We have that tournament. We have the ESC, which is the European exclusive players. And then we have World Open Shogi Championship. And they're actually all in one Swiss. It's just the ESC players play each other first. Their results count for the WOSC. And the players for the Rising Dragons are also in that main bracket. So I see I123. Hello on YouTube. So everyone is playing, and then as you lose in the ESC, you sort of fall back into the WOSC event, and you can play anyone. So anyway, if we look at the standings right now, it's going to be mostly those leaders, for what am I trying to say? It's going to be mostly those leaders for the ESC. Wait a minute. Why is he above him? Maybe the ordering is messed up here. I'm not sure how someone with 2 wins would have 6 points. And someone with 3 wins would have 6 points. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. It's early. It's early, and this is going to be this will work itself out over time. So that's going on here, and let's take a look at the RDC, the Rising Dragons Cup. Ooh, okay. So this appears to be broken. So I can't get the results for Rising Dragon. Maybe they don't have any. Maybe they haven't qualified them yet in here. And maybe we'll get those later. Maybe that'll be decided later. Like, I don't know which of these players are in there. Yeah, it's nighttime in Japan now. It's nighttime in Europe as well. So their tournament here in Germany has finished. So this is there. This is there. This is great. I don't know how to see the results of the Kishin event. I'm not sure. I don't know. This happened today as well. I don't know how to get the results of this. I'm going to look in the Shogi Wars app here just to see if one of these players has the games in their list. What am I trying to do? Go into Shogi Wars. So I'm going to look here briefly. I'm going to look for Buggy D Clown, who is Edward. Where's my friends list? There he is. Game result. Rank. Maybe they're friends. Or maybe they're event. No, it's not event. So maybe it's friends? Oh, he lost. He lost to Bashka02. Whoever that is. I don't know who Bashka02. It's a 29Q. Is that Yannick player? I don't know. So all I know is that Edward did not win the Kishin. It does not appear that he won the Kishin event. Yeah, Shogi Dojo Leon streamed it. Yeah, I think I was asleep when it was streamed. So let me move this out of here. All right, so there's that. And as we get more people in, maybe we can revisit some of this chat. I'm not sure if anyone wants to talk about ESC, WSC. Yesterday is shogi popular in other countries? No, it's not popular. I would not say it's popular, but there are players. There are hundreds of us outside of Japan, at least hundreds of us who love the game and we play the game. I live in Northern California in the United States, and we actually have 3 shogi clubs out here. So we have the Silicon Valley Shogi Club, which is probably the largest, and it probably gets between 6 and 10 players every week. They meet on a Tuesday. There is the San Francisco Shogi Club, which meets once a month in person and once a month online. And the in-person events, I think, have 6+ players usually at those. And the East Bay Shogi Club meets every week, and we have 3 players, usually around 3 players. So, none of them are big clubs. And we all mix. And we pretty much all mix between those 3 clubs. So there's some overlap there. But we have that. Los Angeles has a decent number of players. New York has a decent number of players. Europe has more players, I think, than the United States. But it's still, like, this is the World Open. This is the entire European Shogi Championship. And there are only like 100 people there, 100 or so people, and some of those are Japanese people. So it's great, and we have lots of people who love the game. But it's a small community. It's a small community. Just for interest's sake, I'll say that I've been streaming shogi since late 2023, and I'm mostly I stream on Twitch and YouTube, and pretty much every stream once it starts getting rolling, average between like a concurrent sort of peak somewhere in between 15 and 25 concurrent viewers across Twitch and YouTube, and which is not much. 25 viewers is not that much compared to almost any other game. And most of those players, or most of those viewers, are Japanese. So, even though I'm in the West and I'm speaking English, most of my viewers are Japanese. So, it's a small community. And hello, Fablegraph. Hello, Stream Appreciation Day. Hello, thank you. Domitrix, and there's a subscription with Prime. Subscribe for 5 months. Fablegraph is hashtag just some American viewer. Thank you. Domitrix XVV video. Hello, greetings. Thank you so much, Fablegraph. I appreciate it. There are very few supporters of this channel, and I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart, from the very bottom of my heart. How did I get into shogi? Well, I 20 or so years ago, I used to play Go, and And there's a manga anime Hikaru no Go, which I loved, and I would watch with my family. And one of the characters in there is Kaga of the Shogi Club. He's a former young prodigy Go player who became the president of the high school Shogi Club. And he's a cool character, and I liked him, and that got me into figuring out, what is shogi, and I learned how the pieces move, but didn't really think much about it. Then when there was lockdown, in 2020 or so, I was looking for things to do, thinking maybe I should get into chess, but what about this thing shogi? And so, long story short, I sort of got back a little bit into shogi then, and then when the lockdown lifted, I was asking people if anyone is playing in person. And this is close to 4 years ago, and the East Bay Shogi Club leader said yes. We meet on Sundays, and I went, and I've been going ever since. So effectively I've been trying to get good, and work on my game for the past 4 years. One of the other players there, so incidentally, one of the other players at that East Bay Shogi Club, for a while at the beginning, was an 8-year-old kid from Japan. His family was in the United States for work and study for like 6 months to a year. So he was there every week, this 8-year-old. And, we played every week, and it was great. And now that kid is 11 years old, and he is taking the Shorikai exam in 7 days. So I'm his biggest fan. I am cheering hard for him, and it was just such a great experience to play that kid. At the time, he was around 1Q to Shodan Shogi Wars, and I was around 3Q Shogi Wars at that time, and so we could play some good games. He mostly beat me, but I have some wins, and so I have an autographed little fan from him, because I had told his mom, if I ever win a game, I want his autograph so that when he becomes a pro, I can brag. Mako, hello. Glow sounds like a fun game. So does Hikaru no Glow. Hikaru no Glow. Getting beat by a kid is tough. It was not tough. I will tell you, it was not tough to get beat by this kid. It was not tough at all to lose to him. He was such a good kid who loved shogi so much. His family was great, and he's just a respectful, good kid. And so if anything, as an older person who has no hopes of ever becoming great, at the game, I get to live vicariously through this kid. So the better he improves, I can feel at least like, oh, I was part of his shogi journey, and if he ever gets up there and does become a pro, or he enters Shorikai or whatever, I feel like I've taken part in that. Zendo-kun, I might have just kickstarted the future shogi champion. I don't want to take any credit. No, like that no, but every person has someone on their path, to where they end up going, pluses or minuses. People have negatives and positives and neutrals. They meet all sorts of people on their path, and I'm just one person on his path. But I like to think that it's just like Hikaru no Go again. When Hikaru was in Insei and was trying to get better, they would go to the Go salons, they would go to the Go clubs and play team matches, and he would play an old guy, he would play an Oji-san, and he'd get better, and the old guys would eventually cheer on Hikaru and the young kids. And that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel with this kid. Is that he's my Hikaru, where I'm just yet another person on his path to greatness, but he's meaningful to me. Oh, the kids around you are like online gamers, always trash talking. Are they chess players? Chess players might have a little more trash. Do I know Sota Fuji? No. I mean, I know who he is. I know he's the Meijin Ryuo, he's held every title, but I don't know him personally. I have only met I have met Nishiyama, Nishiyama Three Crowns. I've met her in person. I've met her. I've met Yamaguchi Sensei. I have met Ono Sevendan, I think he is. I've met Nozuki Sevendan. Is he Sevendan also? I've met his wife, Watanabe, who was a ladies pro 4-dan. And I have met Ishikawa 7-dan. I think he's 7-dan also. So I've met 6 pros. I've met 6 pros in my life that I can recall, in person. Do I have a shogi club where I live? Yes. Yeah, I was saying earlier, there are 3 shogi clubs out here in Northern California. The San Francisco Shogi Club, the East Bay Shogi Club, and the Silicon Valley Shogi Club. San Francisco, just to make sure I said them all. San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and East Bay. Yeah, this is in Northern California. If you can get better at the game, you may make it to the next US Shogi Championship event. Oh, that would be amazing. The next one is in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, I think probably in April. And I think that US Shogi Championship is going to be the qualification tournament, the qualification event for International Shogi Forum. So the United States has 2 slots to compete in ISF, and it's a ISF International Shogi Forum is an event that happens every 3 years that has all the amateurs from around the world. Every country has 1 representative, except Brazil, United States, and China, and Japan have 2 representatives. But anyway, so there's people like from this channel. There's someone from Guatemala, there's someone from Mexico, there's a couple people from Brazil. It's an amazing tournament. I'm not good enough to qualify, but I am going to try my best. My shogi knowledge really surprised you. Yeah, there are some of us here outside Japan that love this game. There are. And like I said, I've been streaming pretty much every day, 5 days, at least 5 days a week since late 2023. You live in Portland. There's only one you participated in, but fewer members. Yeah. I have met one person, I think, from the Portland club. It was years ago. He was like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, he came to the Silicon Valley Shogi Club. He was a very strong player, but I don't remember what his name was. I think it begins with an E, but I don't remember. I'm so bad with names. I write them down. I probably have it written down. I don't think Ian or Terry. I don't think so. Let me see if I have it in my notes. No. Ethan, not Ian. Ethan. At least I think it's Ethan. Maybe I misheard. Maybe it is Ian. But I have written down Ethan. Oh, okay. Interesting. He's strong. He's like 4-dan. He's like 4-dan 81 dojo or something like that. He's strong. All right. I wish I could get these Kishin results. I wish I could get the Kishin results here. I apologize that I don't have these handy, but I don't see them listed here. You're only 7Q. You failed to see how strong Dans are. Yeah. It takes strength to know strength. Like, you get crushed, but like, even now, it's tough for me to really differentiate between really strong players. You're hard stuck 7Q on Shogi Quest. Shogi Quest is tough. 7Q is respectable. All right, let's go into KIOU here. Let's go in. Oops, I need to bring my scene up. Let's go into KIOU. What opening strategies are popular overseas? In the Silicon Valley area, so Silicon Valley Shogi Club, there is a lot of Furibisha. A lot of Furibisha. Sanken Bisha, Shiken Bisha. Yeah, there's a birthday. Hey, Magic Base, there is a birthday in KIOU. I already got the prize, which was a gift. Urashino Ryu is what I play. Urashino Ryu and Torizashi. So I started as a Nakabisha player. And I started as a Nakabisha player and a big fan of Satomi. But at some point on stream, I was struggling a lot with Urashino Ryu. And I was studying and studying and studying, and I just could not figure out how to beat it. So I decided I would try to play it to see what other people do against me. And I had great luck to start, so I did really well, and I really enjoyed it. And many thousands of games later, I'm still playing it. So I've been playing Urashino Ryu for probably 2 years now, maybe a year and a half to 2 years, I think. So I don't know. Thousands of games of Urashino Ryu, and I love it more every day. I love it more. It's the same situation in Japan as well. Lots of Furibisha. Like in Northern California, there is just a lot of Furibisha. A lot. Almost everyone out here plays Furibisha. I play Static Rook. Obviously, Urashino Ryu, I play Static Rook. I used to play Central Rook. I play Static Rook, and one of the leaders of the Silicon Valley one of the leaders of the San Francisco Shogi Club plays Static Rook, and I think everyone else is Furibisha. Is primarily Furibisha. So that club I talked about, East Bay Shogi Club, when the kid was there, he was a proper strong shogi player from Japan. So he played Static Rook. The club leader played Third File Rook, and I played Central Rook back in those days. So it was a nice balance. We all had our different Rook strategy, and it was a lot of fun. You started Domitrix, you started a year ago after chess, and you feel in touch with shogi more due to the mechanics, like the free will, so doing your best to learn a lot from Hidechi. Yeah, Hidechi videos are a lot of people love them. And it's a great game. I won't say anything bad about chess. I think chess is an amazing game. I'm not good at chess. I don't really play much. I do a lot of chess puzzles. But, and actually, I mentioned this on X. Follow me on X if you haven't. But in the past, yesterday, my Shogi Dad account on chess.com, they offer those free months of premium. So I took the free month of premium, and since signing up, I have done 5+ hours of chess puzzles on chess.com. And I love chess puzzles. I love chess, the way chess.com handles the puzzles. I love how Lichess does. I've done lots on Lichess as well. Yeah, I've done a lot of chess. I wonder if the chess puzzles are going to help me today. Oh, your country, Vietnam, majors in Xiangqi, so it makes you feel like an outcast. You have more hidden answers to move. Well, there is a shogi club in Vietnam. So I have a podcast, Shogi in the West, and one of the early interviews is with the president of the Japan Shogi Club, Trung, and they have events and they stream. It's still a small community, just like in the United States, but they're out there. Don Vito Shogi, a big channel supporter, has been. I think most of the time he lives in Vietnam, and he tries to convert people in Da Nang, I believe, to shogi. He does like over the board stuff. Yeah, okay, you're in the middle. Yeah, it's tough. A lot of that's a problem in the United States as well. People outside of the major hotbed areas of shogi in the United States, it's a long trip to go somewhere. It's a long trip. All right, let's play a game. This is the low time. This is the low time in Japan, so sometimes it's a little slow to get games. Sometimes the games are not very satisfying in terms of matchups. But we have a 1 queue here. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So let's see. This could be a good game. Shin Ureshi no Ryu. Ah, Bogin. So a lot of Bogin players on KIOU. A lot of Bogin players. Do I drop the silver? So desu ne. Yeah, shoot. Drop the pawn? No, he doesn't. He can't drop the pawn. This will be an interesting one. Should I get my... Let's just be safe. Let's just try to be safe. Try to be a little safe. I don't know if that's safe or foolish. Like, should I have gotten my gold up? I don't think so. So this is a threat here. Drop my bishop here. Drop my pawn. He takes. I take. He takes. I drop the silver. He goes back. I take the pawn. Huh. Oh, boy. Huh. If he drops the... Okay. Drop the silver. I drop the pawn. He drops the bishop. Should I drop the bishop here? Interesting. Interesting. Drop the bishop. He goes back. Drop the pawn. Huh. Take the pawn. Wow. 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 Should I just drop a bishop here? He takes, I take. What does he do? I drop a bishop, he takes the gold. I take. I could drop a bishop here. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Wow. Can I drop my rook. He pulls back. What if I drop my rook here? Drop my rook. He pulls back. I take. Drop a rook, drop a rook. Yeah, the bishop is watching this. It can't drop here. I don't see anything to do with the knight. Let's do this. So desu ne. Okay. If I come up here, it's a 2-for-1. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Drops a silver back here. I drop the silver here. I drop the silver here. He drops the silver here. I drop the silver here. Wow. Do I have mate? Do I have mate? If I take this, no, king can take. Drop a silver back here. Drop a silver here.
20秒
Where is my attack going to come from? So that's the thing. Ooh.
10秒
Can I drop upon here? Can I drop upon here?
秒読みに入ります
Aha.
20秒 10秒 1、2、3
Okay. Okay. Take.
20秒
And then what?
10秒 1、2、3、4、5、6
I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
$20 秒
Do I have mate?
20 秒
I don't think so.
10秒 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9
That's not it. That's not it. That's definitely not it. Yeah.
$20 秒 10秒 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9
Is there anything here?
20秒 10秒 1、2、3
I don't see anything to do. I don't see anything to do. You can just drop a silver. You can just drop a silver. Wow. No.
$20 秒
Drop a knight?
10秒。1、2、3、4、
Now.
5、6、7、8。
Boy, do I have anything here? Do I have anything here? Pull back?
10秒。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8。
Drop a silver now here. I think. Right? I can't take because he'll drop a gold on my head. Do I have anything here? Do I have anything? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ah, good game. Good game. Very good game. Makemashita. Good game. Take the lance instead of the knight. Hey, I Dream of Shogi. Great to see you. In Japan, you say shogi is seen as old-fashioned while chess is considered cool. Chess is cool. Chess is cool. That's the thing. I think it's, you know, partly maybe that's an advertisement thing. You know, chess is presented in a very cool way these days, and shogi is presented in a very uncool way these days. Let's take a look at that. Good game to my opponent. Great game. I want to believe that I had some chances there. I really want to. I want to believe that I had chances. Whether or not I did is another story, but it felt like I had some chances. Let's go here and import this. I'll put this in my Shogi Dad versus Bogeen because it was Bogeen. So let's take a look at that last instead of the knight. Oh, take the knight, the lance instead of the knight. Oh yes. Oh yes. 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 Oh my gosh. Yeah, didn't even consider it. Did not even consider it. Did not even consider. Well, so there's no reason to give them a rook, you say, but I was getting a bishop, is how I was looking at it. I was getting a bishop and I was unlocking my rook, is how my brain was considering this. So yeah, you know, it's a very close game, very close game. And then I'd have a lance to do this, which is obviously amazing. Interesting. What would I do? What would I do? So, you know, I could take and then get him off this diagonal and then take here. But I don't think I want to give a lance. I don't know if I don't want to give a lance. Engine wants to do 2-7 here. So I'm going to go through the engine moves. 2-7, which I like. 9-2, which I'm ambivalent about. Push this pawn, which I think I never thought I had quite the time to do this. You say open the escape route. Ah! So that's the key, Adrian Shogi. So that's the key. What you say. You say you would probably play pawn 7-6 to open the escape route. That's the key. So the reason I never moved this pawn, I only saw this as an attacking piece, as a very slow attacking piece. I never saw it for the dual purpose of allowing my king to get out. Aha. 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 This would also, it's the engine doesn't love it, but this would also allow us to get out. Ah, that's a nice insight. That is a very nice insight where, hey, Killer Ducky, expand the square footage of the castle. Yeah, well, I thought I had enough. I thought I had enough by the time I'm going to be able to attack. It will sell for a higher price. Yeah, expand the square footage. Okay, so this is a great point where, like, when you look with the engine, I would, like, if I would have been looking with the engine just by myself, I would have said, oh, pawn 7-6 is the third best move. Yeah, I thought about that, but I thought it was just too slow to do anything. I dream of Shogi, though, with the human context of allowing our king to run. Yeah, eventually I'm going to end up giving a rook. Yes. And I'm going to need to run. I thought I could just sort of hold out. I thought I could hole up in here. I thought I'd have time to get this guy back to do some defense. Yeah. So great. So, interesting. So I had brief chances. I had brief chances. It was a bogeying game. I'm Gote, or no, I was Sente. Well, regardless, it's a bogeying game, so I'm going to be giving up some equity here. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. The engine did not like this. So what could I have done here? Oh, just take the lance as well, probably. Or drop the pawn. Yeah, every time I looked to drop the pawn, he had this bishop diagonal. So interesting. That's yeah, now I can do that. Okay. 3-5 silver. 3-5 silver. Okay. Yeah, I missed this one. I would have looked for a 3-5. Either way, it's still good for the opponent. Yeah. All right. Great game. Great game to my opponent. Okay. All righty. Let's turn that off. Let's go back. Let's go back to KIOU. Try again. Actually, should we do the gacha? We've got it's low. We've got a low viewer count right now. It's 14 across Twitch and YouTube, so a little low, but you snooze, you lose. Let's do a gacha poll. Let's do a gacha poll to unleash some hidden strength. I need to. Yloigh is ready. Yloigh's body is ready for the gacha. Let's convert these off. We have 21, so we need 30. We need all of these. Hey, Mr. Firefox, got to spend money to win. Well, this is a free poll. We've got 50. We've got 51. Tomorrow I'll have enough. No. By Sunday, I'll have enough diamonds to. I need 2 more days. Oh no! It will be by tomorrow because in half an hour I'll get another 60. Which gacha? I want the cool, handsome gold guy. So let's convert this. Let's convert this to a ticket. We got our ticket. And let's go. Let's go. Alrighty. Alexis, hello. Sorry to resend your message. I think you got lost your game. Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. Ah, did you miss the ESC chat? You did not. Well, you missed a bunch of it, but we can start it up again. I am not drinking coffee. I'm drinking Ito-en green tea, and I need to get some more. I need to get some more. So after we do this, I'm going to grab some tea, and then we can talk about the ESC. Because I have questions. I have a lot of things to think about. There's a lot to go over. It's such a great event this year. But let's do this. Oh no! It's just a pawn. It's just a pawn. It's no. I want it. It's just the pawn. All right, where are we gonna? We are gonna click on the right side. We're gonna be on the right side of the gacha pole. The right side of life. I'm gonna the right side between these two, right here. Here's where I'm gonna click. Boom. It didn't even promote. It didn't even promote. It was a misclick. Oh no! I got the charcoal briquettes. I got the bag of charcoal briquettes. I converted 6 of these to get 1 of these. Wait, I know these are Sanbei crackers. I know there's something. Right? It's probably some my screen, as I've said before, my screen is so small. It's a 13-inch display, and my window in here is so tiny, and these images are so small. It looks like charcoal briquettes to my eyes, but is it the hard seaweed? Is it a cracker with the hard seaweed? I can't remember what the name of seaweed. What is the name of the green strips of seaweed? That is what it is. Nori. Yeah. So we gave 50 gold boxes to get a prize whose conversion value is 5 gold boxes. So you're saying we won something. So I'm just gonna insta convert this. I'm gonna wipe the bet. I don't even want to see this in my inventory. I don't even want to see this in my inventory. I'm just gonna convert it, and we'll never talk about it again. So before this gacha poll, we had 51 gold boxes. After, we have 6 gold boxes. And nothing else. Nothing else. Yeah, you can level up characters. You level up your character, which gets you voice lines. My character is already fully unlocked. Not fully, but I have already, this character, which I don't want to be. I want the cool, handsome gold guy. But this guy, I don't remember how to get in there. It's in here. So I'm already leveled up. I'm max level. But I don't have all his voice lines. Because I think you need to, I haven't done this stuff. You want the Shrine Maiden, the Shrine Girl, but you can't be bothered to figure out how to unlock her. Well, I don't think there is a way to unlock her. You either get lucky with a gacha pull, a free gacha pull, or you buy gacha pulls. I don't think there is a way to buy her. I don't think. So, where can you catch some events in general? The Shogi Dad podcast. Now, well, you know, there are WSL events. I stream WSL events. It's hard, you know. There's no great place to watch stuff. You know, there's not much going on, and when there are events going on, they're often not streamed. So it's tough to say. If anyone else has suggestions, I'm open to those. But you know, there are some channels that have some events. Yeah. I try to stream World Shogi League stuff just to give some enthusiasm and excitement. I try to stream, you know, any events that we have. I've run 3 or 4 tournaments, online tournaments, and streamed them and co-commentated with Benjamin Shuid, who's a strong player from Malaysia. So I've run some events, and those are always fun. But like I said, it's only been 3 or 4 of them. Giving prizes has been a thing. Like, I want to give good prizes, but it's no site makes it easy to do that. So I've been hopeful that KIOU would be that site. But anyway, I'm going to refill my tea and water, and I'll be back, and I'd like to talk about the European Shogi Championship again. So I'll be right back. I'll leave some spectating games on.
対局開始。あなたが後手です。私がもう一人？負けないんだから。四間飛車。技あり。攻守。振り飛車アナグマ。対振り飛車持久戦。
All right, I'm back, and I didn't have hot water ready to go, so I'm going with my ETON Golden Oolong Tea. Not sponsored by ETON, but open for opportunities should ETON like to support the channel. Definitely. Thank you again today, speaking of supporting the channel, to Fablegraph. And, you know, if anyone else has Prime subs lying around, I would gladly accept them. So thank you for all the channel supporters. We have this. Let's go back to the ESC. And let me bring my browser up and switch the scene. And put this away. And let me just see if the Rising Dragons Cup we wanted to look at before. Okay, so this is the results are not there. But yesterday, you know, we watched it. We tried to. I was cheering on Edward Panko from Slovakia, who I interviewed on the podcast, and you know, is a fellow Urashino Ryu player. He was leading the Blitz event, and let's bring that up. He was leading the Blitz event, and I was very excited. He won against probably the favorite to win the tournament, and spoiler alert, that person did win the tournament, but Edward won against him, and but finished a little slowly. And it's unfortunate that he had to play a handicap game. So he was leading the event. He finished in 13th, but he's leading the event after 4 rounds, winning against the person who won the tournament and winning against the person who came in 5th. So 2 big wins. He's leading the event. And then he had to play a handicap game. And I don't know. I'm putting my own thoughts on this. I know that this would mentally distract me and sort of spoil the event for me if I had to play a 2-piece handicap game against somebody. And then if I lost it when this guy is giving away wins to everyone else in the bracket, I'd have been kind of disappointed. It wasn't a pro. He was not a pro. It was a former Shorikai member of the Habu time. I think he was not a pro. This was against Noboru, who was one of the guest players. But he is not a pro. My understanding is he is not a pro. If we look at it's Noboru here, the shogi researcher and writer. Is this showing up on scene? It's covered by my chat window. So I'm just going to bring this over here. This is who it is. This shogi researcher and writer. He was at Shorikai with Habu, that generation, but technically not a pro. Obviously of incredible strength. Can you have a link to these matches? Yeah. Here is the Blitz event, and this is this. So anyway, Edward was winning the event, and then he had to play a handicap game, and it looks like fell apart. But either way, he had an amazing, and the winner of the event didn't have to play any handicap games. I'm just saying. Just to get some hot takes out there, just to get some drama going. Maybe everyone in the tournament, Edward included, loved this format. Maybe they did. I don't think you should have a professional and a near professional playing handicap games inside of a serious event. Maybe people don't take this seriously. Maybe they don't, because it's 8-minute Kiramake. Maybe they don't take it so seriously. I don't know. I can't turn off seriousness, so I'd be taking it seriously. And I know I would have been very disappointed if I had to play a handicap game. Yeah. So, but anyway, you thought it was cool. Yeah, maybe everyone else thinks that. So maybe I'm not there. So when you are not at an event, this is something just in general. When you're spectating from the outside, or you're in this case looking at a bracket from the outside, on the other side of the world, you don't really know the flavor of the event. You can guess based on your experience, but you don't know the feel of an event. You don't know what people are thinking or how these things actually are turning out. So like I said, it's totally possible everyone absolutely loved this. And I know how much people love playing pros. People, not me. I don't particularly care about playing pros. I'm a fanboy enough of the amateurs, so I don't care so much about playing pros. But other people I know do love it. So, if this is a fun event and people don't take it seriously, more power to them. Just don't have them give me a handicap. Problem solved. Yeah, yeah. He's winning. He had a game of probably one of the games of his life. He had a big win against the favorite of the tournament, He's undefeated, and then, here you go. Here, play some 2-piece handicap game. I hope you studied some handicap Joseki, or I hope you don't fall for something. And I don't know. It's just not for me. I've spoken at way too much length about my dislike of handicap games. So I'm gonna stop here. Other than to say this looked like an awesome event, and this kid, I'm gonna call him a kid because he's only 24 years old. He's only 24 years old, so I'm gonna call him a kid. This kid is absolutely incredible. He won last year's European Shogi Championship. He won the Blitz side, this Blitz event, and what can I say? I mean, wow. He's a good shogi player. That's my Christopher Walken. For everyone who's already heard my terrible Christopher Walken impression. This Anton Starikovic is a good player. So anyway, he won that event. Moving on. The team event, which we went over yesterday. Also awesome. Legendary European player, Telmarch, Jean Fortin. And I don't know what he's more famous for these days, being the husband of the only Western shogi professional to ever live, Carolina, or being a many times European shogi champion, or something else. He's also, I think, a great Go player. But anyway, his team won. They were almost undefeated. They almost just completely ran the table. And second place, this guy. We were talking about him yesterday. This name that I don't know, the face that I don't recognize, who all of a sudden is this incredible German shogi player. And let's just leave that discussion for now. Let's just leave. In third place, Edward's team. Edward's team came in third place with Thomas Fafel and Andreas Neumeier. So, congrats to all of them. Their photos were in the Shogi Harbor Discord. But anyway, let's talk about this player. The ESC bracket. So they are into the semifinals. And I think this should show up here. They are now into the semifinals. The day is over. It's late in Europe. So tomorrow, I think, will be the finals of the ESC. And so we have the semifinalists have been decided. We have Anton, the person who won the Blitz and last year's European Shogi champion. Obviously he's the favorite. Obviously he's the favorite. He had a great run. He's into the semifinals. I don't know if I recognize all of these names of who he played. I recognize this name, very strong player, and I recognize this name, I think. Except, actually, no, I don't I know this. I know Frederick, but I don't. The last name doesn't ring a bell to me. So I don't know. I don't know if this is who I think it is. But anyway, he's on. And now here's this name. This name of this person we were talking about yesterday, who I don't know who this is. I know he's German, and he seems like he is incredible. And just to add credence to the fact that he's incredible, the quarterfinal match he won against Melkor, who is an incredible young player himself. And one of the I would still argue one of the rising stars of the Western shogi world. And this new player, Yannick Kruse or Kruse, won the game. And I was speculating earlier today if this is like a Z-Kid situation, where Z-Kid, for anyone who doesn't know, is a chess grandmaster and under-18 world chess champion who picked up shogi recently and within 6 months became one of the best Western shogi players, period. So, that's the power of a grandmaster who loves these kinds of games. Or maybe it's just the power of him. Maybe it's just the power. I'm not going to say it's the power of a chess grandmaster. It's his power, and he is also a chess grandmaster. So this guy, I'm wondering if he's also a strong chess player, and did he just pick up shogi recently, or is this a name that has been around forever and I've just missed it? I don't know. I wonder. You know, he looks kind of young to me, but everyone looks kind of young to me. And then in the other side of the bracket, I saw this. I was busting. I was so excited to see this. Edward, you know, Urshina Ryu power here. I don't know if he played Urshina Ryu or Torizashi in these games, but he is through to the semifinals, winning against the many-time European Shogi champion Jean Fortin, who I already have spoken about you know his incredible legacy of shogi and beyond. And Edward won the game. He must be ecstatic. And on the other side there, we have, hey, Shogi Brazil, great to see you. We have Thomas Leiter, I believe another German. I believe he's German. So I think this would be two Germans. You know, the tournament is being held in, this is not showing up on the the stream. So I'm going to move this over just to try to at least see it here. All right. Edward. And this side, you know, some strong players. Thomas Fafel. I don't know how to pronounce this. Teo Goa. Who I think I know who this is. I think I know who this is, and I'm extremely excited to see his performance in this event and in the Blitz. And then Thomas Leiter makes his way to the other semifinal. So really strong player. Okay, if you Google the name, there are a bunch of chess profiles, but only 2,100. Losers. So maybe, I mean, yeah. So Edward, I believe, is also 2,100-ish FIDE. I believe Edward is. And you know, he has not been playing shogi that long. But yeah, you know, there is a far cry between 2,100 and Grandmaster. So yeah, I don't know. But either way, maybe I bet this is him, right? Oh, Thomas Leiter has 2 ESC wins, 1 or 2 trophies. Wait, whose 81 Dojo username is Khartoum? Kruse or Thomas Leiter? Because I thought Thomas Leiter's had the word light in his username for some reason. Okay. So very, very strong player. Very strong player. Extremely strong player. There was another event. So that leads us into the WOSC ESC, which is the main bracket, which includes the Rising Dragon Cup, and it includes the ESC. So it's one big Swiss that everyone is in. As you lose in the ESC is only open to Europeans. So as you lose in the ESC bracket, in that main bracket, you continue to play in the WOSC, you continue to play in the Swiss, but now you can match with all the other players in that open event. So it's one bracket, and for the standings, we'll see, like, it's showing Edward as the leader, Edward and some of these other guys. So the guys who have basically the people who are undefeated in the ESC and the people who are undefeated in the main WOSC are going to be at the top here. So Keigo Suzuki-san, I believe, played in last year's ES or WOSC, and I don't know if Saito-san did. I don't know much about this player, other than he seems to be very strong. So Lighter Cartoon is an OG 81 Dojo guy from the first season of 81-0. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then where is... Oh, there it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so there are the four WOSC or the 4 ESC players are obviously undefeated, and then there's also Sato-san and Suzuki-san who are undefeated. So Masahiro, Masahiro Kita-san, did he win last year? I mean, come runner up, because I think Starikovic just swept everything last year, I think. Maybe I'm misremembering. And we've got Melkor. We got Melkor in there in the top 10. Jean Fortin in the top 10. And yeah, it's Frank Rokamp. Good to see he's bouncing back from his loss. So really cool event. There are 9 rounds. So this site again is fantastic. The website for the ESC and WSC has all the pretty much all the details you could want. It's not necessarily in one place. Whatever. Nothing's perfect. But I'm going to click here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I want the WOSC. 9 rounds. 9 rounds. Okay. So it's a 9-round system, 3 of which are done. So there are 6 more rounds, 2 more for the WOSC, and then everyone is mixed in from there on out. So yeah, this is where they stand right now. I'm not sure if they finish tomorrow or if they finish tomorrow and Sunday. Let me see again. I'm going to open this. Oops. Actually, I had the tab open. So I'm sorry for my skipping around. Okay, so here's the schedule. Let's look at the schedule. Okay, so Sunday is round 8 and 9. Awesome. So the ESC, the European Shogi Championship, will be decided tomorrow at 11 a.m. German time. Before lunch, and then WOSC continues. So really excited. Hey, Origa Moniwa. The winner of that tournament was very strong. Yeah. He was very strong. But my guy won against him in that Blitz event, so I'm happy. I'm very happy. And my guy is in there fighting for the European Shogi Championship, and yeah. So the Kishin event, there's no brackets here for the Kishin event. That was held on Shogi Wars earlier on in the stream. I don't know where there's a list of the I don't know if there's a list of results for the Shogi Wars event, which they ran at lunch, but I went into Shogi Wars and I looked at Buggy D Clown, which is Edward's account, and I saw that he seems to have lost in his first round to someone whose account I wasn't sure about, and I'm wondering if it is that Yannick Kruse. It was what was it? It was let me go into my friends list. Buggy D Clown. Where is he? There he is. And then if I go into game results and then I switch into friends, Bashka. So Bashka02, who's 29Q on Shogi Wars. So they're not really a Shogi Wars player. So I don't know much about it, but whoever that is. Oh, he played against Anton. Ah, okay. That would make sense. That would make sense. So Anton is not a Shogi Wars player, and Bashka sounds more like what someone from Belarus would have rather than someone from Germany. But don't worry, it was confusing even while watching in person. Yeah, I think I was asleep when it was being streamed. Those, the events on Shogi Wars are much appreciated, but they are difficult to navigate, unfortunately. So that happened. So I don't know who won. So Alexis, do you know? So do you know who won? Do you know the standings of the Kishin event? You think Anton won? Oh, wow. He's so strong. So strong. Tsuyoi. Why is he so strong? He's only 24. Oh, you checked the Kifu. He played Torizashi? Oh. It was a Torizashi game. Wait, so Anton is a Furibisha player? No. No way. No way someone this good plays Furibisha. Fujisota is 24. He's washed. He's washed. He's washed. This isn't a good example because he's washed. He's an old 24. He's got a lot of mileage under those years. Actually, he's not washed. He's leading in the Ito N. He's leading in the Ito N tournament, right? The OE tournament. Boy, delicious. Delicious. And low calorie. Ito and green tea. Oishi. Oh, boy. Oh, Yloigh gave a link. Let me. This is why. 2014? He's been playing Shogi since he's 12? Or 11, maybe. Wow. I could have beaten him back in 2014. Just saying. Just saying. Wow. Wow. So he's not a chess player. He's not a chess player who became a shogi player. He's a born and raised shogi player. Like, that's, it seems like Belarus has had this incredible sort of pipeline for young players. Like, they have that club where they try to build they tried to build this real shogi community. It seems like, from the outside looking in, it seems like. And is he one of the products of this community? Amazing. Ridiculous. Wow. So he's been active for a long time. He has not he is not new to the Shogi world. He's not even new to the European Shogi world. Like, he's been rated since 2014. So maybe he was even playing before then. 21 games. And he won more than half of them. Oh, this is also 2014. Yeah. Wow. What these wins? These wins are in that month. So he had 22 wins in 1 month. No. It's 22 wins since the previous recording. Is that how this works? Magic Base. No, it's not enough. Did you see? I did a free poll today. I will be 10 short after today's refresh. So let me refresh. Oh, Anton's castle was often no damage. So he makes castles. Is he a Furibisha player? Ah, okay. Thank you, Alexarus, for that detail. FISA ratings are updated every 6 months. So the numbers are from that 6-month period. Ah, excellent. So he has been active. He has always been active. No, he was not. He was not active between... He was not very active in 2025. The first half of 2025. He was not active at all in the first half of 2025. And he has not been active since the beginning of this year. In FISA games, anyway. Okay, so he played Mino. Wow. Okay, well that's good to know. That's good to know, because if I ever play him and like if he would have played for Ibisha, I would have kind of assumed he was trolling me. Because I just assume he's a static rook player. Wow. Let's do the KIOU refresh here. No way, Magic Base. I'm not giving any more money. I'm not giving anything. I'm not giving any more. Especially not after that free pull today. I spent 51 gold boxes to end up with... I spent 50 gold boxes to get 5 gold boxes. Alright, so we got our stuff. We're 1790. We are 10 away. 10 away. And this weekend I'll be... this weekend is a big... That California Extreme. It's a big arcade and pinball festival, carnival, conference in Northern California. So this will be the 10th year that I've been going with my colleagues, former colleagues and friends and son. So we will be there this whole weekend. So I will not be streaming. I could buy another month of the pass. I could. So I made that offer. I made that offer to KIOU on... Was it yesterday or was it Wednesday? I made the offer that if they let me win, that if I win the game, I'm going to do it. But I didn't win the game. They gave me some... They gave me a very unsatisfying game. Did I see the Shogi animated music video that came out today? You're surprised by the amount of English comments? No. Shogi animated music video? No. It wasn't me. It wasn't me singing yesterday. I hope. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the Shogi animated video. I'm trusting Magic Based. I'm trusting Magic Based. It would have been great if this was a Rickroll. It's a good video. All right, Sonic. Three minutes. Ukopi. So is this someone? 531,000 subscribers? $531,000 subscribers. Oh, it's a famous animation studio. Okay, I see. So it's not a shogi player. It's an animation studio. Well, hopefully this gets people excited about shogi. Oh, I saw that drink of green tea. I've got some of that green tea in the fridge, but I'm going with the oolong right now. Okay. I don't want to show all the video. I don't know what the legality of showing stuff is. But you say, so there are 391 comments. You say there are some English comments? Here's one. KIOU girl. English lyrics from Gemini. Let's have a good game. Okay, so someone gave the English things. I wonder if these English speakers are shogi players. I suddenly feel the urge to learn shogi. All right, well, hopefully we get some shogi fans from this. That's great. Boy, we need Shogi Dad X Kutopi. Make a video, make an animation of me doing this. Now you want to see a video get no views and no likes. They should do the same video and put me in there. Oh, you couldn't hear much? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I don't know what if I have the volume on low on this scene. But yeah, check it out. Check it out if you're interested from Magic Based's link. It's the same brand tea. I assume it's Ito-En. KIOU is strong wind. I see. All right. So we've done the recap. Is anyone actually at WOSC? Is anyone in the chat right now? And if so, I just want to know like what the buzz is. Like, are people excited? How's it going? How does it feel? Like, is it different from previous years? So here, the Rising Dragons Cup thing. I just can't load this. It refuses to connect. I don't know. Maybe they. I don't know. Maybe this is a Chrome problem. Maybe the security setting. Maybe it's because I'm not in Europe. I don't know what's causing this. But I would show the results for RDC, but I just don't know them. Very excited to hear about this. So I'll be following on my phone. You know, tomorrow I'll be at this event. But I will be following on my phone to see, you know, to hope. I want to see Edward win this all. Of course I want to see Edward win. But yeah. So he is the only person from this bracket that has been on the Shogi in the West podcast. Excuse me. So I am cheering hardest for him. And Urashino Ryu, obviously. And he plays Urashino Ryu and Torizashi. Okay. So, anyway, we are there. Just on 81. I'm just noticing this 81 Dojo. You know, there actually is a WSL game coming today at 1 o'clock. It's Division E, and I would hesitate to schedule around it just because a lot of those games seem like people don't show up or they don't show up on time. So I don't really want to tie into that. But like maybe we'll watch it if I finish a game here and it's still there. So let me switch back to KIOU and minimize that and minimize this. And let's do this. So anyway, all right. I don't see any more ESC, WSC comments. What time is it in Germany? It's 9:13 p.m. All right. Very low player population. You know, the app itself is getting lower, fewer and fewer players, and I am at the low point here of the player population. It is 4:13 a.m. on Saturday morning in Japan. So it's going to give me a god, or it's going to give a god or a goat. What is the? Should I just play some casuals on Lee Shogi? Does anyone else want to play? All right. Let's see if there's anything going on Lee Shogi. No. Answer no. There's anonymous casual. Team. Oh, this is team tournament. Melkor has a study. Der Doctor creates a study. Insane King move. I'm not seeing any Edward Ponko study here. The ESC things. Let's see Melkor's study. Ah. Oh, there's no computer analysis for this one. No computer analysis for this one either. So let's see. I need to see who wins. So which side is Sente and Gote? Okay, so wait, so Yannick Cruza is Sente. Wait, Gote resigned here? Wait, Gote resigned here? Is there mate that I'm missing? Is there mate that I'm missing here? Gote resigned here? What? What am I missing? Gote has a dragon, a rook, a horse, and a bishop. Sente has a knight that can take this horse, and a silver surrounding on the other side of the board. That doesn't seem winning to me. Wait, does this make sense to anyone? Oh, missing Sente. Okay. Oh, I flip the board. Okay. No, but it doesn't matter. Gote moved, so it's Sente's turn. So, did Sente resign? No, we know that Yannick won. So maybe there's no move? Because I know Melkor would not resign on his own move. What is the mate here? What is the mate here? How are we going to do this? This? Just this? Yeah, almost nobody uses black or white for these. So Sente and Gote is all I hear. It's particularly annoying because a lot of AI translation flips. So in shogi players that use the terms black and white say that black moves first and white goes second. But when AI translation tries to translate Sente and Gote, the AI translation does white as Sente and black as Gote, presumably trying to match Western chess where white goes first. So I avoid the whole discussion. I just call them Sente and Gote. All right. I can't flip the engine on, so I can't see what the best move is here. But I'm not sure which is the win. Which is the win. Okay. Anyway. 10-0, 7 plus 3, 10. You think Silver 5-2 promoted Silver 5-2? We only had a silver. Oops. So, like, if we promote, king takes. Not sure. Knight drop. He can't run because that would be mate. At least I think it would be. Yeah, I don't know if I hate this. I'm gonna download this. I'm gonna download this Kifu and then bring it in my own so that I can. I think Melkor has some anti-AI or anti-engine thoughts. Actually, let me. So he doesn't allow engines and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna download it and then re-import it. Just as I'm curious because I don't see the resign. I don't see the resign. I mean, it looks bad, but I don't see the best move. Oops. So this is, let's copy this game record. Wow. Is this right? No, this is not right. I tried to, the Kifu opened in Shogi home, and I'm trying to so copy record from current position, copy record all as KIF. It's KIF. Okay. Let me switch the scene back. Okay, so my move is the best. 6-2 bishop promote. So my first move was correct. But also the others are this is now taking over, which is what I showed earlier. But like and 5-2 promote is mate in 9. It's detecting this is now mate in 9. This is now mate in 9. So let's find it. Let's find it. I'm going to turn off the engine. Let's find this mate. Your landlord bought a new washer dryer for your unit and paid extra to have it installed. Turns out it doesn't come with a power cord, and she didn't buy one for it, so they couldn't install it. We have a refrigerator. We had our refrigerator. Oh, can I link to this study? Yeah, let me do that first. Well, this isn't a study. Let me add this to the study. So our refrigerator, we paid to have the ice machine and all that kind of stuff. They come out there when they installed it. They didn't have a hose. They didn't have a hose to connect it up. So long story short, many years later, we still don't have an ice maker. Actually, we have a new refrigerator now, also without the ice maker. I'm just going to put this in here. I don't know why I'm putting this in here, but so this is the, sorry. This is the study. Yeah, like the smallest things, like, oh, this doesn't come with a hose. Or, this doesn't come with a power cable. Like seriously. Dumb it. Okay. Have a good night. Have a good night. So we pull this back. Yeah, so let's find this mate. Let's find this mate. Takes knight, horse, we promote. Take, knight drop. Let's say the king runs. Horse. He takes. Gold drop. Or gold drop. He runs. No. It's a mate in 9. So it's a mate in 9. And it's a mate in 7 from here. So let's do this. It's a mate in 7 from here. Hi, Atari. That doesn't do it. So how about... No. So let's try the knight. So let's try the knight. Try the knight again. Drop a gold. King runs. Hey, this pawn is annoying. So knight. So if he comes here, we get this. Takes gold. Oops. Gold. So that's mate if the king runs to that's mate if the king runs to 6-3. So if he runs to 5-3. If he runs here... Wait, it's our move. It's our move. Wait, it's our move. So knight drop, king runs. Do we set the Hishi? Or do we sack? We sack. He takes. We do this. He runs back here. And then it's gold drop. No, it's not. Then he runs back here. Well, no. He's here. He's here. Yeah, okay, so that's mate. Okay. So knight. I'm turning the engine back on. Knight drop. Right? 6-4 knight. Yes, knight drop. You can't go here. So he goes here, then bishop takes. Yes, bishop. That is correct. Bishop takes. If he takes, gold drop is just mate. So he's going to take here, and now we're going to come over here. Yes. And now if he goes there, we've got the gold drop. If he goes down here, we get the gold drop. All right. Yeah. Yep. All right. Turn this AC off and a nice mate. A nice so what if he runs though? So what if he runs? It's just this. Right? Yeah. All right. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break and then come back. And that's it. Actually, I have enough water. Be right back. I'll set it back to Lee's show, the KIOU stream, and put on spectating. All right, be right back.
この一手で流れを変えます。
Alrighty, back, and I've got Itoen green tea, matcha green tea, hot this time. AJ, you say you're Japanese. Sometimes you watch the live. Keep going. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's close this out. Yeah, Magic Base. These piece sets are fine. Why are those other ones so much worse? Yeah, the ones I have 3 piece sets or 4. And they are not they're basically unusable. Yeah, I have 3. As far as I'm concerned, these are basically unusable. The default is nice though, so I stick with the default. Try again. Let me minimize this. Okay, got a game. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
あなたが後手です。
遠慮なく行かせてもらうよ。嬉しの竜。
Interesting. Ooh. We've got you know, the king is here, so I can't. No forks. 1, 2, 3. Let's just play it safe. Safe. Wow. If I do this and he drops a bishop, what do? I just come over? Yeah. So gold is a huge threat here. Wow. Silver drop. He runs. Silver. Let's just do this. Let's keep it simple. Keep it simple. Bishop drop. Bishop drop. I could win a rook. I could win a rook, but I could also just take this silver. Is this mate gold drop? Is this mate gold 5-1? Gold 5-1 or gold 5-9? Gold 5-9. Bishop takes. Dragon takes. That is it. Arigatou gozaimashita. I think it was fine, I think, until the gold block of the king. It was actually mate in 1. I'm playing the game out in my brain. I'm trying to play the entire game out in my brain. I don't need to start the beginning. But I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. The check from the other side still allowed the king to run. Oh, really? Instead of the gold drop? Oh, the silver drop. Silver drop. Okay. Yeah, silver drop 6 or 4-9. Silver drop 4-9 would do it. Okay, yes, now I see it. Silver drop 4-9. Yeah. So if we go to the end there, silver drop 4-9. Can I edit? Yeah. I wanted to get my dragon in on the action. So let's switch out. I don't want to spend too much time analyzing, but I didn't feel like, I don't know, something felt wrong about how I played that once my rook got in. Or even before that, the open diagonal, these are positions that I have to, I think, get better at handling. Miss games. So flip the scene. So here. I think I have at least 3 options. One is to push first, takes, push, takes, takes, and I'm aiming at this. I don't think that's so advisable because there's always this intermediate intermediate move. Yeah, the shogi proverb: a long checkmate is more stylish than a mate in one. So I have this problem, but when I see a mate, I don't look for a shorter one. Or once I see a mate, even if it's relatively long, I think my brain no longer considers other moves. And as the mate gets longer, the odds, the chances of me being incorrect increase. So if I see a mate in 9 and I try to do it and it fails, I basically lost the game. But if I do a mate 9 and then I look for it, but then I also see, there's also a mate in 3. That seems to be more ideal. So the thing is, this happened over the weekend. On Saturday, on that stream where I played the the San Francisco Shogi Club, the San Francisco Shogi Club online monthly meetup, I finished off one of the games with what I thought was a great mate. Actually, I still think it was a good mate. It was a little stylish. It involved a pawn drop. It involved a pawn drop which only had one king move, and then I sacked a dragon. To basically close in the mate from both sides, and it worked. I read it out. I reread it. I recalculated. I calculated, and I did it. And then, channel supporter Konoman33, who I interviewed in the two episodes ago on Shogi in the West, he commented saying, couldn't you have dropped another pawn on the king's head? And it's like, and I was looking at it, and it's like, I didn't even consider that. It's like, yes, I could have dropped a pawn on the king's head, which he would have had to take with the gold, and then I just take with my silver, backed by my dragon, and that's a very clear mate that he saw. Meanwhile, my mate was, it felt almost reckless, you know, because I'm stacking a dragon. You know, I had a chance of being very, very, very unhappily wrong, of throwing this winning position away. But I didn't even consider it. So anyway, that seems like there's that chess saying of when you see there's a chess when you see a good move, look for a better one. And then there's this sort of joke when you see a mate. I think the joke is if when you see a mate, find a shorter one, or when you see a mate in one, look for a better move. I don't know, something like that. Something like that. You feel like a mate in 3 dragon mate is easier to spot than a mate in 1 silver. I would agree with that, except for the fact that the entire time my dragon was here, I was thinking about this drop. Oh, Gohenro, good to see you. I think I know, like I've said before, I think I know who you are. And if you are, huge congrats with your performance so far in the European Shogi Championship, the Blitz event, and WOSC in general. I am so excited seeing the name that I think is your name in there. It looks like you had a first round win in the ESC and then lost in the second round, but you had a first round really impressive win. So very excited for you on that. Oh, okay. Sounds like I have you wrong. You won your first round in the ESC and you did really well in the Blitz? Ah, okay. So that is not you then. I will have to look at that. So now I need to know, now I need to figure out who this other guy that is. Because I've been sending someone else my energy, which explains why he's done so well. He had some big upsets. Man. Gosh, that guy got free energy from me. Free energy. And he's done nothing for me. He's done nothing for me in my entire life. And I gave him free energy. Anyway, so I'm going to flip this. I'm going to flip the engine here. Okay, so engine does like this first. And then this is second, which was my move. And then this third. So, okay. So I was a little concerned. In positions like this, sometimes the engine likes to have the silver come up first. Or even the knight come up first to block. But I didn't think this was one of those situations. But, like, let's do this. This seems like a great opportunity to do this. We do this. Rook takes, pawn drop. We get our back to defend the head of this pawn, and okay, and then they drop this. Let's say he gets over here. I think I jumped my knight now. And there, eventually the engine agreed with me. Eventually the in-browser Suisho5 agreed with me. So we jump the knight, and now we can begin this trek up the board. I don't like it as much. I don't like it as much because it doesn't seem as forcing. But maybe it is. Maybe it actually is, and I should be content with this. So I wasn't going by your first name. I was going by your last name and by the last name of the player. And I was going by what I perceived to be your rating, what you mentioned about your rating. So okay, so anyway, I didn't do this, but I pushed the pawn, which was fine, which was the second best move. Takes. Okay, Engine does not like this. Engine does not like this now. So maybe we have to take first. Really? And we still don't take? We still don't take? I'm gonna have to run this. I'm gonna have to run this on the side. Run this deeply with Nagisa. These days, so update. I said that I had switched. I recently said that I switched to Aoba and NNUE, which is a stronger engine than Suisho 5. And I was using that for a while, which was a big change in my routine because I usually, when I do my analysis, I had been using Suisho 5 for a long time. I switched to Aoba, but now I'm on Nagisa V3, which is stronger than Aoba, supposedly. I'm not seeing that yet. I had them do a little bake-off. I did a little four game tournament, and essentially 10-second Byoyomi, 4 games, and Sente won. So Sente, I played Aoba versus Nagisa V3, and Sente won. But Nagisa was reaching higher depth much faster. So it seemed to me like, which is important to me, that regularly Nagisa was like 2 moves. Nagisa processed more nodes per second and ended up at a depth, at a higher, like a depth of about 2 higher than Aoba on average. So for me, when I'm doing my analysis, it's more important for me to get to a good, reliable result more quickly, so that I don't have to spend as much money on electricity or whatever the heck happens. So and so I don't have to sit there waiting, on the couch just twiddling my thumbs while it's calculating. So I switched to Nagisa V3, and apparently Nagisa V4 already is a beast, and it sounds like is maybe even way better than Nagisa V3, but I don't think V4 is available yet to the public. Not sure. But anyway, just update on that. All right. So, but I will. So I'll look at this. So anyway, I did my thing. Engine does not like this. It doesn't hate it, but it doesn't like it. So they want me to do that, or just to come back. Yeah. So do this, and then he comes back, and then he comes back, and then yeah. You really need to get some engine setup going for studying. It's easier than ever. These days, it is easier than ever. Download Shogi Home, download Suisho 5, or download Nagisa V3. Nagisa V3 is available, I think, for Linux, Mac. The binary, I think they ship a binary of Linux. I know they ship a binary of Linux and Windows. Of Mac and Windows. They might have a Linux binary in there as well, but you download it from the page. It's got the eval file. It's in the directory structure that you need, where there's the executable, and then you don't need it, but by default, this is how it works. You've got the Yane Uro essentially binary. You've got the eval directory that has the NNUE in there, the NNUE file, which is the heart of, or the mind of Nagisa. And it's pretty easy, and they're fast, and they are ridiculously strong. Yeah. And I made a video a while back, which was how I use the engine. I don't know. I'm curious if this even stands up. I'm gonna search for it now and then maybe watch it later. It was taken from a stream, so it's let's this is the oh, and I'm wearing my blue Hawaiian shirt in that video. So it's so rare that I wear the Hawaiian shirts on stream. That was one of those rare streams. Yeah. When was this from? A year. It just says a year ago. What is the actual date? September 7th. Okay. So a little less than a year ago. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this stuff all happened. All right. All right. Mostly engine approved. It's funny that the time I've started playing 4-2 bishop more often because the engine seems to always like it slightly more than 3-1. And often more than 5-3. In this case, this engine, this low depth in browser Suisho 5 likes both these more than this, but I'm going to ignore that. Now I push. Okay, it was okay, and then from here it was pretty clear. I'm just checking to make sure. Got this, and then oh. They're both so close. The engine is liking 7-8 silver more than 7-8 gold. But all right. It's fine. Okay, so this was totally fine. Okay. I thought maybe I was being a little slow. And then this move was correct. So if he would have come down here, I think I just go over here. He comes down, and then I drop the gold. I guess, yeah, I just dropped the gold. Yeah. Okay. All right, GG. Oh, 102. WSL has started. I'm going to switch this. The game just started. I'm going to, wow. Let me switch my scenes to my Shogi scenes. And 81 Dojo. All right, so we have Vito player from Italy. I believe that's the Italian flag, and I believe this is the New Zealand flag. NZ Mao, that would make sense. So let me just hover these guys to make sure. New Zealand and Italy, yes. Let's start from the beginning. Just quickly go through this. Free Bisha player. All right. Always a pleasure to get a WSL game. Like I said earlier, I didn't plan on watching this just because I feel like I've been burned so many times now when I make plans to stream WSL for Division D and Division E, where players don't show up, that I've started just not to plan on doing it. But if it happens, I'm glad to show it. Making the castle. So it's interesting that one comment earlier from it was from IE123, I think. I think it'll be hard for me to find this, but saying that in Japan it sounds similar, where they have a lot of Furibisha players. at the at the low amateur ranks. I wonder why that. So why is that? Is it because amateurs don't want to play as the sharp lines? Like is it sort of like, it seems like D4 and basically non-E4 openings have become more popular in chess? Because I think a lot of the discourse is that these openings are not as sharp as E4 openings, and you don't have to know as much theory, which I sort of laugh at, both in terms of shogi and chess, despite the fact that I know nothing. I didn't show you say you think you have to study openings a lot more if you play Ibisha. That's fair. So that is fair. So you actually agree, you actually believe that. So I've heard people say it's their spicier, more sharp lines in Ibisha. My experience as an Urashino Ryu player over these past couple of years is that my games are very spicy, way more spicy than they were back with Nakabisha, especially when I'd be playing I for Ibisha. But yeah, but I don't know. I hesitate to take my experience as the gospel in some of these, just because of my inadequacy and because I play a very volatile opening, where I don't make a heavy castle. So I don't want to apply the things that I've learned from that to all Ibisha openings. But I hear stronger players talking about how Ibisha is sharper. Go, Henro. You're saying for Ibisha, it's Aigakari, Bishop Exchange, Yoku Fudori, maybe Yagura Gangi if you're boring. Lots of ways to lose. Yeah, lots of ways to lose quickly in Ibisha, especially with Urashino Ryu. And I have found many of those. I have found many of those ways to lose early with Urashino Ryu. And I continue to discover new ideas of ways to lose very quickly. And I don't think Gangi is boring. I'm just going to say that. I don't think Gangi is boring, or I don't think Yagura is boring. I am a Yagura enthusiast on 81 Dojo, even though I've never played Yagura. Yagura enthusiast, even though I have literally never played Yagura on 81 Dojo. Kilodaki, you say the variety of stuff you faced when you played Third File Rook was way less than now you play Static. Okay. Yeah, so more ammo in that whole debate discussion. I think that sounds right. That sounds right. And I know for me, it feels like I'm fighting all sorts of weird stuff all the time. As an Ibisha player, some people push down this way, some push this pawn, some push this. When I play Nakabisha, or if I observe I for Ibisha games, like I can almost play them through blindfolded. Well, you say no facing Bogeen. I think Third File Rook players can face Bogeen, right? You could still have Bogeen, right? Isn't that one of the things that Third File Rook players have to look out for? Not really? Okay. I must have misunderstood the discussion that was being had between Third File Rook players. Two Third File Rook players were having a discussion, and I think they had mentioned Bogeen, and maybe I was misunderstanding, or maybe they just said you've got to do this just so that Bogeen can't happen. Like it was some very basic prophylactic move to prevent Bogeen. So I have seen Bokeen against Third File, but I don't know much about it. I've seen Bokeen. Hey, Fordoon, and Fordoon also saying Climbing Gold. Yeah, I have definitely seen Bokeen. I've seen Bokeen against my opposing rook, and boy, that is annoying. And against my static rook. Bokeen is shockingly annoying at times. It's less about sharpness and more about variety, though you can make a case for the sharpness too. Yeah. I think the sharpness maybe does the sharpness arise out of the variety? You know, the more variety there is, the more likely people will be making suboptimal moves and potentially leaving themselves open to more sharpness. Like, I sometimes wonder, is the sharpness that I feel with my openings actually just volatility due to playing suboptimal moves a lot of times? Suboptimal or moves that allow for very few variations. Like if I choose to play my Urashi against Bogeen, for example, if I choose to play the way I play it normally, sort of the you get the bishop out, aim to have the bishop on this diagonal, hitting, you know, making threats. That seems to me to be, it works. The engine doesn't like it as much, but it works. But there's often, I'm playing, in that variation, there are a bunch of only moves. Whereas if I would have simply pushed my pawn and made like a mini Yagura, I'm going to have much more room to mess up, it feels like to me. But yeah, Ifuribisha games definitely, I've heard people call them dry. I would not call them dry myself. You know, I was not that I'm at a high level now, but when I was a Nakabisha player playing a lot of Ifuribisha, I was a lower level player. So I don't want to make too many judgments about it or its relative dryness. But I've said this before, there were a lot of my games in Ifuribisha were, you know, we make our moves, we make our castles. You know, he's got his Mino or high Mino. I'm in my King Muso, or we're both in King Muso, and then I move to opposing rook, and he moves to opposing rook, and then something happens, and one of us is able to push. And that is very different from my static rook games, where it like I can feel the tension. I could feel all these wires or all these cables, and it's like if I pull on this thread, this is going to unravel. But this other part is, or if I pull on this thread, this part's going to unravel. But I might be able to pull it, you know, make a hole. I'm trying to make analogies, terrible analogies. But like often with my Ibisha games, like I see the mutual threats and it becomes a decision of who's going to be faster. Do I like this trade-off? Do I like this position I get after we do this? Or like all this kind of stuff. And they feel more on a knife's edge, which is why I call them spicy or sharp. Whereas the Ifuribisha games, and again, I was a lower level player, but the Ifuribisha games, they would happen, and I wouldn't quite know why I lost, or I wouldn't quite know why I won, or I wouldn't quite know why a good position developed. But it did. You know, every game, for the most part, has to have a winner. That said, you know, of the probably 10 times I've Sinichta'd in my life, I think most of them were Ifuribisha. And the others I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of 3 in particular, were Urashino Ryu, Torizashi-like openings against opposing rook, where we just shuffled the rook back and forth. I think there is a draw-ish line in Torizashi, Urushi no Ryu. Torizashi technically needs the opposing bishop on 3-3 or 7-7. So, if the opponent plays opposing rook, it's not technically Torizashi, which is why I'm waffling over these wordings. But essentially, if I play Torizashi against opposing rook, there is a variation where it's reasonable. It's the engine top line to try to Senichite. Go Henry. So you feel like having to know more or less, except for Ifri, Bisha, and Aigakari. You feel like you have to know more or less. I don't quite understand what you're saying. You open the bishop first. So what do you play, Gohenro? Do you play KKS or something? If you open that bishop diagonal first, do you play KKS? Or are you willing to just go straight into opposing rook? I do show you don't know if it's about optimal play. You think just naturally when there are more variations, there will be more sharp variations, but there are also slow variations. Well said. That's true. Yeah, there are definitely slower variations in everything. It seems like in everything that I play, and it's usually the opponent in my case picking the slower variation. But yeah, like the Ishikawa, the Ishikawa counter, I will always air quote counter because I think Urushi no Ryu is just fine. But that his counter strategy to Urushi no Ryu is slow. Like Urushi no Ryu player can turn that into a very slow game. And in many ways I think is supposed to. Hey Vexel Cafe, great to see you. I don't know if I mentioned since you've been on, I did a big cleaning of my Rancilio Rocky grinder. And I don't know if any of you have seen, there are like, what's it called? I'm blanking on the term when it's sort of you veg out to a YouTube video that has sound and, what's it called? When you sort of veg out to the sound and the sights. ASMR. Thank you. ASMR. There's there's a whole category of ASMR where they're shoeing a horse. So they take the shoe off a horse and clean the hoof and then put the new shoe on the horse. My grinder looked like that. My grinder, I was in there with tools and I cut up my hands, but regardless, I was in there digging out layers of old coffee. Disgusting. I could not believe it because I thought I had already cleaned it before I put it away. Maybe I just didn't do a good clean before, or maybe I didn't even realize how bad it was. Because it actually looked like part of the metal. And I was going to town. And since then, I have been getting a lot more consistent, better tasting brews. A lot more consistent. I'm able to go finer. I'm able to go coarser much more easily. I'm able to control the consistent coarseness of the grind. I still haven't completely dialed it in. But they're totally drinkable and enjoyable. I did open up my Baratza Encore, the sort of the lowest end of you wouldn't even call it prosumer, but the lowest end of what people seem to consider to be okay. I have that Baratza Encore that I've been using for 5 years. And I thought that 5 years is not enough for the burrs to go out. But I opened that up, cleaned it, took it apart, put it back together. It's all clean, and it still cannot grind anything but way too coarse for like anything. It's just it just cannot grind anything but coarse. So I think I'm gonna have to just retire that one, or throw it out. But the Rocky is doing its work for now. The Rocky is doing its work for now after this real satisfying clean. Some of this stuff that I was picking off, like it was like in Minecraft. I'm picking this coffee out. Like I thought it was part of the metal. I just thought it was dark metal, but no, it was not metal. It was just very, very, very hard coffee, compacted coffee. From well over, it's possible some of that is 20-year-old coffee, as gross as that is. Encore is definitely not for S Pro or not for pros. I mean, it's definitely not a pro machine. So I go, how coarse I go for. I think when the Encore was working well and I was getting great. Oh, I haven't made espresso. Espresso. Yeah, I haven't made espresso since I sold my old Expo Bar Brutus a zillion years ago, partially for cash and for a Matzer Mini, big honking grinder, which I no longer have. But yeah, this is coffee talk. You understand as much as listening to iFurry talk. We are not in iFurry in this one. So who's looking good here? I'm barely paying attention. I apologize. But, I'm watching. I feel like I'm liking Static Rook, except for this move. Maybe he's going to make Anaguma, but I thought when the exchange happens, I thought the silver is supposed to take here. I thought the silver was supposed to take and then come up this way. That was my expectation here. Nice to be able to draw arrows again. That's the one thing that I really don't like about streaming on KIOU is, I stream where my view is not my desktop, where my view is the KIOU app. So it doesn't get these overlays. This is just a separate application. And I cannot seem to figure out how to get that to work. To overlay. Okay, you thought so for the longest time, but you think often king takes is correct. Okay, so maybe it's just maybe it's circumstantial. So the thing is, like, if the bishop drops here, let's say the bishop drops here or here. I don't think it's going to drop here because then he'll push on the head. But let's say the bishop drops. You're going to have to jump this knight, right? And I thought that that's going to be a liability. My thinking is those jumps in front of the king are a liability. That's my expectation. Obviously I don't play these openings, so I don't know. I'm still so excited for that European Shogi Championship. I'm so excited for Edward. I'm gonna shill the interview again. If he wins, and in my mind he's already won, but if he wins, here we go. Let me share this. If he wins, this will be essentially validation that coming on the Shogi in the West podcast improves your shogi. It makes you stronger. I can already make this argument because he had an amazing Blitz event. And arguably he won that event. I'm not going to say any more. I'm not going to say any more. My own hot take. My own hot take. But yeah. He has become a real consistent force in European Shogi. Like, to qualify for that Kishin event 2 years in a row? Wow. Wow. You know, that's Shogi Wars. That's Kiramake. That's volatile stuff. That's very volatile stuff. And there are really good players playing in those qualifying events. So to qualify twice in a row, you know, he had it looks like he did not have good results this year, but he played Starikovic in the first round of the top 8. So he got a bad draw. He got a, you know, it's possible he would have finished second in the Kishin event. But, you know, because Starikovic won the whole thing. Oh, I don't know if he won the whole thing. I assume he did. But I don't know he did. But, you know, Starikovic won the Blitz, and Edward beat him in the Blitz. Edward is also just a great guy. Yeah, you know, obviously I have never met him in person. I have only met him, you know, online. You know, I've had you know, direct messaged conversations with him, and I obviously had this interview with him. And yeah, he seems like a great guy who loves shogi, who is trying to grow shogi. You know, his story, again, you know, that he tells in this interview is, to me, is just so interesting, and it's so great. It's so easy to cheer a person like this. It's so easy to cheer for a person like that. Someone who's who's really nice, who loves the game, who helps others. It's just so great to see. It's so easy for me. It's like it's like it goes down smooth. It's like a whiskey that goes down smooth. I barely drink alcohol. What goes down smooth? Would it be a whiskey? Would it be something else? And now he's in the semifinals of the event, which is just amazing. This is interesting. What are we seeing here? No, I did not see the Kishin stream. I think it was while I was still asleep. You know, the time zone things. So I have not seen it. What do we think about Bishop drop here? What do we think about Bishop drop here? These were what I was looking at. These were the, hey, Konoman, good to see you. Good to see you. Mentioned you earlier today. I'm not sure what was the context. We were talking about really, really, really cool people, I assume. That probably was the context. Fablegraph, you say better whiskey goes down smoother than cheap whiskey in general. Okay, so it was a good analogy. It was a good analogy. Telemarch mating with 1 second on the clock in the semifinal was crazy. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? What happened, Gohenro? Telmarch in the Kishin event, he did a mate with 1 second on the clock. They were playing 10 minutes, right? Okay. I think Gote has the best of this. I think Gote has the best here. Token takes, horse takes, token takes gold. I think this is good, right? But then again, he did get knights and lances. Yeah, this is WSL Division E. This is New Zealand and Italy. A very interesting game here. A very, very spicy position. So I think Gote has a lot of options. I really like taking the rook, but I am unable to calculate what comes next, because Sente has a knight here, which would be really good on this square. After this, this is slow, but it does yeah, that's too slow. Ooh. So what can Gote save the rook and maintain this pressure? So like let's say Gote moves the rook here. Sente takes here. Take. This half Mino is kind of annoying to have to break. Like it seems like, it's weak, but like a Metapod, it can harden. It can harden in one move. So I'm guessing he did this so that there's no way for this horse to threaten it. I'll just say that as so often is the case with these WSL games, the WSL games of the lower divisions, these players are playing. I think they're playing really well. They're playing very thoughtful moves, and their ratings here do not seem to do them justice. I could be wrong, though. My analysis has never been perfect. Mino Castle, he's really not holding back. Yeah, exactly, Konoman. Thank you. Thank you. The obligatory Mino Castle reference from everyone's favorite series, Miss King. There is a Netflix series, a Japanese Netflix series. I can't remember what it's called. Shoot. Where the main character is an investigator, and they investigate like international crime while going to international foods restaurants, but she has green hair. And I think the actress, or one of the actresses in the series, I think is now is it NAO? Which I thought was the Miss King person, but it doesn't look like the Miss King person. I don't it's like a one word name. Like, is this too slow? Yeah, I don't know. I can't. This is where my calculation and visualization really lets me down, and maybe this is hard for everybody. But in positions like these middle game ish, early end game ish, I suppose we could maybe call this end game because there's a horse, and there's stuff going on in the opponent's camp in the opponent's camps. But these types of positions, I have a lot of trouble in calculating speed, or calculating what happens. Like, what happens if this pawn is pushed? How critical is it to take back? Or is it critical? Do we just take? And then he takes. And then do we slide over? Do we continue our attack? If we're on this side, do we push this and then he takes? Do we take back? I don't, that seems really bad. So to my eyes, Gote has more speed, but Sente has I'm going to say a better castle right now. Huh. That's interesting. Do we just drop a pawn? I don't think. Well, so if we drop a pawn, he takes, we take, gold takes, and then the rook is safe. Huh. So do we just have to take the rook? He takes, we take the gold? That seems like a good trade. This seems like a good trade, except for the fact that, after a rook drop here, we're in danger town. We are in danger town. Take up here, or even take over here, I guess. But take over here. Yeah, take over here seems even better. And meanwhile, again, this Mino Castle, not great, but it's not great. It's not terrible. It's what was the radiation reading in that Chernobyl series when he said not great, not terrible? The monitoring device could not display a higher number than this number that was not great or not terrible. Pawn drop 7-6. I see he's not holding back. 3.6 Runkin. Yeah, exactly. Not great, not terrible. They took some liberty with the facts in that series, as they do in most modern shows, but I thoroughly enjoyed the series. Yeah, this is a fun one. This is a real fun one. So if the king, if the rook slides over, do we just bring our token over? Zendo-kun over now on Twitch. As a new player, is it worth exploring Nakabisha? I would say absolutely yes. First comment I'll make is that whatever interests you is, I think, the most important thing. So if you are interested or intrigued by Nakabisha or Demon Killer or Third File Rook or Yoko Fudori, like if something speaks to you and is interesting to you, I think there's a better chance that you're going to enjoy what you're doing and you're going to learn it better. And shogi is for most people, especially most people outside of Japan, but for most shogi players, we're never going to be maging, we're never going to be and we're never going to be experiencing greatness. So it's about the fun. It's about the fun. These are really creative moves by Vito player here. I'm loving these moves. Whether they're good or not, I don't know if I could say, but I am loving these moves. What did they say in Hikaru no Go? Like I'm quivering after every move. I'm like tingling. Like these are really intriguing moves. But so anyway, with that said, I started as a Nakabisha player, and I played thousands of games of Nakabisha and really liked it, and it was a great foundation for me, and I enjoyed it. And so yeah, I would definitely say it's worth exploring Nakabisha. I will say, and I'm going to shill the channel again here. I am going to continue to shill the channel, the podcast especially. But there's a video here with one of the greatest Western shogi players, one of the greatest living shogi players outside of Japan, Koshiro Hama, the many times Meijin of Brazil. He was a guest on this episode, and we talked about openings. So I would listen to everything he said about openings here before anything I would say. But in this list, we sort of do a tier list, and we talk about the various openings that are good both for beginners, for people playing at other levels. And I think it's a great discussion. I can listen to Koshiro talk about shogi all day. And yeah, you say you enjoy the podcast. Please don't give it up. I haven't given it up, but I'm not getting many people. I'm not getting many people looking to be guests, unfortunately. Oh. So silver up. I think now we're getting our counterplay, right? Silver up. Gold takes. Horse takes. And then the horse is hitting both the rook and the empty, or the undefended gold. So yeah, I really would like to keep the podcast going. I would love to get more interviews on there, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and without it's a lot of work, and there's not a lot of support. Without being a complainer here. Yeah, I'm actually just to mention it and then change the subject. I am extremely disappointed with the viewer numbers for the recent 3 episodes. The recent, especially the recent episode, which I thought was just amazing. I thought it was an amazing, not because of me, but because of the guest. I thought it was just absolutely amazing. And yeah, just to see only like a couple hundred views. I don't even know if it's hit 200 yet. Is emotionally debilitating. So anyway, am I going to ever interview Frank again? I don't think so. I don't think anyone needs to hear what Frank has to say about anything. That's why interviewing other people is good. Frank is the most boring man alive. I don't think he doesn't need another interview. He's the most boring man alive, and he's still playing the same opening. I have it on record in the Santa Clara County court system. I made a statement under oath that I am the most boring person in the world. This was on a panel to jury selection. So we were up there, they're asking us final questions to select this jury, and somehow I made that statement. Somehow I made the statement that I am the most boring person in the world. I was going to say, I'm just looking. Is he going to drop the pawn? And if so, I hope there's no Nifu. I hope this great game does not end in a Nifu. Oh, interesting. So that's great feedback. You say you really liked the last episode, but with your monkey brain, you almost need a board and pieces to follow along. It was some good conversation. Oh, interesting. I mean, obviously that's not going to this is not the greatest trade, I think. It's not going to like, that won't necessarily impact the views. Like, whether you like the episode or not, like, you already clicked the video. So, it's like this video, if people don't like this video, maybe it's the next video that suffers, but yeah, anyway, yeah. That's interesting, though. because in my mind we did a lot more talking, but maybe we were talking a lot about board positions. That's interesting. I have to think more about how to deal with that. Viewer retention directly impacts whether the algo shows that video to more people. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So if viewers are getting, that was like a 2-hour interview. If people are getting turning off after 20 minutes, which seems hard for me to believe, just because I'm such a big fan of Benjamin, that anyone would tune out that quickly. But yeah, I suppose if people are tuning out early, the algorithm will start showing it to fewer people. Huh. So this is feeling really good for Sente, I think. Like if he takes this horse, we've got a nice rook drop. We got a very nice rook drop. You're winning this silver at a minimum. And where's Gote going to drop that? Like, if Gote tries to drop this rook, we can make things annoying. I mean, if he drops that rook, he's going to lose that rook because we're going to pull the gold over. Well, no, he won't lose it. No, because he could take the knight. Yeah. But like, yeah, he can try to make his castle a little firmer, but take this silver. This pawn is coming. This pawn is like he better not drop the. I think he better not drop the pawn back, because we're gonna get the pawn on the head of this gold. The algo reevaluates at very specific thresholds. 1K viewers being one. Yeah, like I have the number of videos that I have that have 1K views, you can count on one hand. So you see the view counts cluster around the thresholds. You think 300 is another, but can't remember. Yeah, I have very few that hit 300 even. I think the one video, I think the chess and shogi clock video, I think has 15,000. I think. The videos of me playing on FPGA Game Boy systems, me playing old Shogi Game Boy videos, those YouTube shorts, those all have over 1,000. Let me see here. Yeah, Shogi and Chess Clock, Byoyomi Beep Countdown. Okay, so it has over 10,000. It doesn't have 15,000. Just put chess. Just put chess in the subject. Yeah. So what's the best way to deal with this? Is it to get the gold over? Gold over, he takes the knight, and then gold over here. So he takes the knight, then do we take the gold first, and then redrop the gold once he takes the lance? One thing that Sente is 1,000% going to have to look out for is the fork, a night drop here against Mino Castle. One of the reasons why I stopped playing Mino Castle. Mr. Dubious Tactic, hello, welcome to the channel. Just to make sure he doesn't get this dragon forked with the king. So like a square that Sente would probably like to have the king on is something like this, or the rook on, or the dragon. That would be catastrophic. Because the knight drop here. So we could say again, Mino Castle, he's really not holding back. We could say that. Wow. That feels way too slow. That I think is way too slow. That is way too slow. Because there's no threat once the gold is taken. He doesn't have a bishop. He doesn't have a bishop. That said, I guess there is always a threat of taking, king takes, and then this check comes. I think Gote would still be okay. But that said, would this have been good enough? No. Sente Gote has no knights. Sente already burned his knight. Sente already burned his knight. So he has no knight. So that threat is not anything yet. So speed-wise here, promoted knight takes gold is Sumero. So, like, if this token comes up, taking the gold is too fast. Okay, that is also too slow. That's all. I think that is also too slow. Take gold is Sumero. And now, yeah, and now we have mate on the board. And he sees it. Yeah. These players played great. Gosh. I think they played great. There's no way in my mind neither of these players are 10 and 8 Q. The classic. I would have gone with the Lance. Just because that seems more classic. But beautiful mate. Beautiful mate. Beautiful attack. Beautiful mate. Great games to both. I'm just gonna type GG to both once the resign comes in. All right. Yeah, great game. Really, really fun. Yeah, show you result. I think they're both underrated. I think that's an underrated 10Q and an underrated 8Q. I really love how Vito player played this, and I thought he had chances there. You know, just the creative defense was awesome. Whether it was good again, you know, I don't know. I can't necessarily evaluate. I have my trouble evaluating those positions, but I thought they were all interesting moves. Very fun to watch. Yeah, so congrats to both. Let's take a look at the WSL Division E standings. I'll switch my scene. New Zealand is leading. So New Zealand is leading. This team is New Zealand and Australia 3 are both prime to promote next year, but Peru 2 is chomping, is right at the heels, just 1 point of a tiebreaker behind. So let's see this month's game. This is August, right? That's their third board? Wow. Okay. So that was a third board. So Schweiz already won. So New Zealand has already won this month now with these 2 wins. But every point matters. Every point matters. Who is Osama? Shodan. Okay. A Shodan opposition player. So what is the Basulo? Oh, he's got a photo. I like it. Or he had a photo. 2Q max of Shodan. So this should be a good game, but like I said, the round is over. Who is on Australia 3? Anyone that we know? I think this is a Shogi Harbor player. I think relatively strong Shogi Harbor player. but I don't. Joy Mota sounds familiar. I don't know if why. Maybe I just saw that in WSL. So this is it's not Yngve Malmsteen. It's not Yngve. It's very similar to Yngve. It'd be Yngve if you swap the E and the I and turn the W upside down to be an M. It would be Yngve Malmsteen. And got rid of the I. Right? Now I can't see it. YNGWIE, right? All right. Anyway, so that was that. What else has been going on? I saw that Brazil. Oh no, Brazil lost. Oh no. Koshiro. What happened? I saw that YKT had lost. I didn't realize that Takashima-san had lost as well. Oh no. Takashima-san didn't show up. What happened? Why does this happen so much on 81 Dojo these days? Does anyone know this Cloudflare stack and why that happens on some sites more than others? Oh, he didn't even communicate. Oh, I wonder what happened. Oh, wow. I wonder what happened. I hope everything's okay. I think I've seen him playing lately. Right? Yeah, okay, so he's playing. At least he's doing all right. He's climbing back up to 4-dan. Yeah. Wow. So my brackets are in shambles. My Division A is in shambles. So I used to be able to focus only one of these snippets here. I'm gonna have to switch my scene to show this. Give me a second. The heck? Sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to move little windows around. Okay, so now I'm going to switch the scene to this. So my Division A predictions. I'm shook. Brazil won. They are in 5th place right now. 5th place. It's not over. Never say never. It's not over. Koshiro had a beautiful game to win the first board for that this month. And I think Takashima-san would have been highly favored in that match if he would have played it. So I said Brazil 1, Taiwan, France 2, United States 1, Austria, Japan, Germany. Singapore, I was low because I thought their top player scheduling would be a problem. But so Taiwan is leading. So Taiwan is now leading. Singapore 1. They are there. They have not had that top player scheduling being very uncertain. United States 1 is still up there. Z-Kid holding it out. After abandoning Foradun's team. Now Brazil. France 2 is there. They were my 3rd place prediction. They're in 4th. So we're all right. But Brazil won. My heart and my brain wants them to win. Division B is all right, but Division C is where. So the highlights of this year's WSL, I have to say I feel like are Division A and Division C. These have been extremely interesting and fun divisions to follow. The others have been great as well, but like for whatever reason, the races in these two divisions have really captured my interest and imagination. You have Benjamin Shuit, Malaysia player, up there. United States had a real chance to win last month, and they're going to have some chances. They're going to have some chances in the upcoming months. So it's not over. Canada up here. Canada is, I had predicted Canada to be at the bottom. They are gladly proving me wrong with 3 wins. 3 wins. Very impressive. 3 wins. Same number of wins, mind you, as Slovakia, which is one of my favorites. So, I picked Slovakia to be fifth place. And I guess they're 6th place. So it's not too much. But anyway, Canada is doing amazing. I predicted Canada would be at the bottom. I did predict United States 3 would also be at the bottom. But Guatemala is a big disappointment for me this year. I put them in middle of the pack. Yeah, they've had rough luck. They've had rough luck. Brazil 2 is in 3rd place, which is exactly where they should be. Mexico 1, I predicted in 2nd place. Their story is not over. Their story is not done being told, and they have matches against other top teams. So, they could prove it, or they could fall further. But we'll see. It'll be interesting. Either way, this battle for the basement is really fierce right now. It's fierce. It's fierce. It's been a pretty tight race for that 2nd spot for promotion Division C. Yeah, and I think it's going to continue to be. I don't know why I'm feeling so down on Great Britain. I feel like somehow they're going to fall out of this. But, it depends who shows up, of course. But Slovakia, Mexico, Brazil 2. I think they're all stronger, potentially stronger than the Colombia team. But the Colombia team, is in the driver's seat right now. And they're playing well. So all these teams would deserve to promote. I think all those teams would do well in Division B. So it will be very interesting. Yeah, I would love to see, the thing is, I don't know who I'd want to replace them, but I would love to see Guatemala and the United States 3 team get out of the basement and stick in Division C for next year. I would love to see that. So, going into the final months of WSL, those are my stories. Can Slovakia, come up top? Can the United States and Guatemala stay out of the basement or get out of the basement? And can Brazil come back? Does Brazil, they've got chances. They're playing the best teams. They're playing the best teams. They got shut out by Singapore, which is tough. And the 2nd place prize, it's a prize. 2nd and 3rd place, like these are bronze and gold medals, or bronze and silver medals, which are nice. But Division A is the top, so there's no promotion. There's no promotion out of Division A, so it's not as big a deal. You feel like the U.S. has been run down by scheduling issues? Yeah. In Division C, the U.S. 3 team has had at least a couple no-shows. And it's a killer for WSL. Like, half the battle is showing up for these, and the United States has had some unfortunate ones. But in terms like those other teams trying to move up, it's good to be playing the top of the division. The United States has the bottom half to fight in the 2nd month. So this is like in sumo. This is like the I think it's called the Sanyaku. Why is my machine? I'm gonna quit KIOU here. Try to quit KIOU and shut some of my resources down. But give me a second here. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of something's heavily using my CPU. Okay, it's back. It's down. But to get out of the basement, you want to be playing the lower teams. So it's actually both Guatemala and the United States. Despite the fact that they have to play each other again. I think they have to play each other again, right? How do I do this? Yeah, they do play each other, but they're battling. It's a battle. The lower level teams are fighting the lower level teams in this one. So Guatemala and the United States, they have their chances. You didn't get your share of no-shows yet this year? Well, you've been showing up, but Takashima-san this last game didn't show up. Also, I was watching the YKT game. I was stunned that he lost that. I don't remember the details at all. I just remember being really surprised. It felt like a game that he should have won, but I don't. I could be misremembering. But then again, I love his game so much that I always feel like he should be winning. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Scheduling is tough. So anyway, yeah. So go Guatemala, go United States. I'm cheering for Australia. I'm definitely cheering for Australia, because Tulip is on there. Tulip's on that team. I don't want to see Australia replace them in the bottom, but I am shamelessly partisan towards channel supporters. Shamelessly, I have no shame about it. And Guatemala and the United States both have some nice channel supporters in there, and it's supporters, it's the mega supporters, the viewers, the non-viewers. That's how it works. that's how it works in the Shogi Dad hierarchy. And so. Yeah, cheering for both these teams. I'm cheering for everyone to have fun, but I am cheering for Guatemala and the United States to stay in Division C. Because I think they both deserve it. I think they've both this year just had really unfortunate schedules or something, some unfortunate games. But then again, maybe everyone is just getting really good. Is the level of shogi, in the West just increasing so much? Maybe. Like it feels strange to me to have a team with Foradune and Ghost One and Skykeeper and the Pharmacist and Panic. It feels almost absurd to me to have a Division C where those two teams have basically only won a single match. Like that seems crazy. It seems kind of crazy. But maybe the level has just gone up across the world, which is a good thing. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me. I'm going to close up here. Been a lot of talking. My voice is starting to get a little hoarse, and I'm going to be doing a lot of talking this weekend. Like I said, there's this California Extreme video game and pinball convention event throughout the entire weekend. So I'm going to be watching that, or I'm going to be attending that, and I'll be following along with the ESC, the European Shogi Championship, World Open Shogi Championship results on my phone. So good luck to everyone who's competing. Good luck especially to Edward Panko, the guest of the Shogi in the West podcast. And, he's in the semifinals of the event of the ESC. So thanks, everyone. See you soon. Enjoy ESC, enjoy WSC, enjoy your Shogi, enjoy your weekend. Take care. Thank you, as always, for the support. Thank you this week for Fablegraph with that Prime resubscription today. And thank you to Foradune for the 11 months Tier 1 subscription earlier this week. Really, 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 really appreciate it. So that's it. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye.